All right, hello everybody. My name is King J, and welcome to Splatoon. This is a third-person platformer shooter from Nintendo. We had a donation bid war, and boy won between which gender I would play as. So this is any percent, where we don't get all the collectibles. We're just trying to beat the story as fast as possible. So if we're ready on timer, I'm gonna go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So, like I said, this is Splatoon, and there's an entire story mode. This is mainly an online shooter, but we're going to be going through the story mode, which is actually very well known for the Splatoon series. Like I said, it's a third-person shooter where I'm a kid who can transform into a squid. We can shoot ink, we can swim in that ink, and we move faster when we're in our ink. And there's also a lot more properties to our ink when we get to, or which I'll get to later. But for the most part, it's just platforming our way and defeating enemies. So right now we're going through the tutorial, and then we'll be going through a bunch of cutscenes. So, yeah. Sadly, this game does have a pretty slow start, but once we get going, it'll be a fun run. Alright, so that was the tutorial. So, now I can kind of get into what Splatoon is all about. So, basically, how the story goes is there is these the Octarian menace that we had to take down, who is kidnapped the great Zapfish from our town and took all his power supplies. So we had to go through a bunch of levels to get the power supplies back, which is the Zapfish, and restore power to Inkopolis. So I have to go through all these cutscenes here at the beginning. Again, this is any percent, and we have unskippable cutscenes. So I'm going to have to go through all this, and it's going to be a few minutes till we actually get into the levels, so I can kind of explain how I'm going to be going throughout the levels. So each level is just a set stage that I have to travel through and get to the end. There's one collectible if you're going for all scrolls. There's a sunken scroll in each level. However, I am not going to be getting those. This is just any percent. Along with that, in order to move on from world to world, we have to finish each level in the set world to reach the boss fight. However, we can skip one boss fight and one world in general, and I'll get to that later. So this game is actually fairly well known. It was a smash hit back in 2015 when it released on the Wii U, and I started running it, I think, about 2 or 3 years ago. And any percent is by far the most popular category to this game. We have like, I think, about 150 runners, I think, something like that, for any percent. So it's a very popular category. So right here, I'm going to do something very controversial. I'm going to turn off the motion control. I know everybody's going to hate me for that, but I can never get down with them. I don't use them in Splatoon 2. I don't use them in Splatoon 1. I just find it more natural to use dual stick controls, and I hope you understand. So it's frowned upon in the community to not use motion controls, but aside from the tutorial, you're not forced to use them anywhere else. You can just turn them off right away. So this is Captain Cuttlefish. He will be our guide throughout the story mode. He's going to be talking to us a lot during the levels. So yeah, like I said, we have our gun, and we also have sub-weapons, which are different type of bombs. We actually have to get some collectibles throughout the first set of levels, because of the fact that we need to unlock the other type of bombs, because they are better than our current splat bombs that we have. So within the first 2 levels, I want to get 100 of what we call fish eggs, and those are our currency that we're going to be using. In the total of the run, for every category, we only need to grab 200. Which is to unlock both sets of the other 2 bombs. So now that's like the nice, 3-minute intro cutscenes, sort of part of the run. It takes a while to actually get into the story mode, sadly. It's like this in both Splatoon games, but you get used to it. So for the most part, these are the generic enemies we'll be seeing a lot. We have these different types of octolings. These are the generic ones. The very standard enemies. They're kind of like the Goombas of Splatoon. They're really easy to defeat, so you can distract them with bombs, and we're just going to be trying to hit them. So now is a good time to mention how much RNG is in this game. This game is filled to the brink with RNG, from the shots that I fire, to the shots that the enemies fire, to the enemy placements and the movement that they have. It's completely RNG. Some of it we can manipulate, but again, it is a shooter, so we're going to be trying to deal with as much RNG as we can. And there's 2 levels later on that have horrible randomness to them, and we'll get to that when we get to that. So this is the first level. It's pretty easy, pretty standardized to introduce everything it can to you, or everything that it can to you. And again, I'm trying to get as many fish eggs that are in my way. I'm not going to go out of my way to get them, but 44 is a pretty safe number at this point. I am going to, because it's a marathon, I'm going to go a little safe here. I'm going to grab this safety box that I call it, get some fish eggs right there. Again, we need 100 by the end of unlock burst bomb, seekers. So that's going to be the important one. And that's the first level. So again, it's pretty easy.
Hey, do we have a moment I could sneak in a donation here?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we've got a donation from Zeta, who was a participant in that last Pokemon Red race. They say $2 for every HD, that'd be Horn Drill miss on Dragonair. I live in Toronto, and our children's miracle network is Sick Kids. If it wasn't for Sick Kids, I wouldn't be alive with my accelerated heart rate and arrhythmia. I spent the first 3 years of my life there, and each year I donate to my own personal network, but I willingly, happily support any and all networks around the world. Thank you for having not only myself, but some amazing runners in Quay, Huang, and Conception, and the wonderful commentary from Pseudo and Pinkish. Even a bigger thank you for hosting such a wonderful event. Thank you, Zeta, for participating and your donation.
All right, awesome. Okay, so oh god. So this is the second level here. Later of the Octoball. There's actually a couple skips I'm going to be doing here. There's a lot of cool platforming skips in this game. One of them I just did there, jumping down instead of climbing up the wall. It saves like a second. Again, I'm a little short on fish eggs, so I'm going to try to be a little safe here. There you go. So I should be good on fish eggs. I'm not going to go ahead and grab the armor I can grab here. I would do this if I was going for safety strats, but because I have enough, I'm not going to have to. And there's going to be a giant skip here coming up. That'll save like about 40 seconds, and it's called Cannonless. And it's probably the hardest strat in the early game, so you'll see it coming up here. It's on this wall right here. You're supposed to go to a cannon to shoot ink all over the wall so we can climb up it, but we can abuse physics, and we can get up there without having to use it. Oh, but first I need to worry about the squeegee. Oh, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Oh my god, come on, dude. Thank you. Alright, well that's a bad start to Cannonless. Alright, so this is Cannonless right there. So we skipped having to go to get the external cannon, and we just climb our way up the wall instead. And there we go. So that was the second level, and thankfully we have 100 fish eggs, which means we have enough to buy the Seekers. And the Seekers are way better than the current bombs we have, which are just the regular splat bombs. For many reasons, we'll get into that quickly, but you saw that I should mention one of the cool optimizations. In order to break open the Zapfish barrier, you either need to shoot like 10 shots at it with our gun, or we can just throw one bomb at it. So it's either just to throw a bomb at it, and it breaks it immediately, and we can just jump into it. So basically how Seekers work is they lay out an ink path in front of me, as well as going in a straight line and blowing up whatever it touches. So that's easier for unlocking levels, which you saw earlier, and it's also good because it can ink up ramps and walls. So you'll see how useful they are, specifically in this level. So I talked about skips and stuff like that. There's a lot of cool skips, but for the most part, Splatoon is very cycle heavy. There's a lot of cycles in a lot of different places, and specifically, we have a lot of global cycles in this game. And what that means is when I enter a level, different moving platforms like these moving blocks, they are moving the moment I enter this level, and I want to be on a good cycle so that they're moving in the right spots every single time. Which means I have to make sure that I'm going fast enough, or if I'm going too fast, I need to adapt to what speed they're at. If that makes sense. If any of you have played like cycle-based games, usually rhythm platformers are a good one to mention, or Mario games as well. Then it's pretty easy to notice. So yeah, there we go. thankfully, World 1 is really short. So each world usually consists of about 6 levels and then 1 boss fight. World 1 is special, it only has 3 levels and 1 boss fight, so only 4 levels total. And now we get to the boss fights, which is everybody's favorite part of Splatoon. So yeah. Now I can talk about something that we're going to be using a lot. There's a glitch that I'm going to be using throughout this entire run. I wouldn't even call it a glitch, it's more of an exploit. Basically, whenever I switch between my bombs, which I can do using the D-pad on the gamepad, I can, every time I switch bombs, my gun fires 1 extra shot. And so what we're going to do is we're going to spam the D-pad here while we're shooting the tentacle. And so basically whenever we shoot a tentacle on a boss fight, or we shoot anything that takes a lot of hits, we will spam the D-pad. Right now it's hard to do because we only have 2 bombs unlocked, but once we unlock the last bomb type in World 2, we'll be bomb spamming a lot more obviously. But you can already tell that I'm spamming and it's blowing up faster than it normally would. And that's called bomb spam glitch. And it's probably the easiest thing to learn. And fun fact, this was found by a very well-known person of the Splatoon community. His name is Tones Balones, who ran at GDQ. And he found out that this was a thing because he was just fighting one of the most, like, auto-scrollery type boss. And you never gold that boss fight. It's the one in World 3. And he was just messing around with the D-pad, and he golded the boss by 2 seconds. So it doesn't save too much time. I think over the course of the entire run, it saves about, like, I'd say maybe a minute, not even. But, like, that adds up over the course of a 1-hour run. And we save all the time we can get. Splatoon is actually very optimized, to the point where RNG can totally manipulate your run. Now, I did say there was a lot of RNG in Splatoon, from the way the enemies move to where they are when you enter the level to the way they shoot their shots. But there's also, like, that stuff we can manipulate. What we can't manipulate is something that I like to call shot RNG, which Splatoon is very prone to. So shot RNG, basically, you see my reticle on screen. Whenever I shoot my shot, the first time I shoot, that shot will go wherever I'm aiming. So that's guaranteed. But every shot after that, I can just hold the trigger, as you're seeing. My shot can either go left, center, or right, or left, center, or right, of where I'm aiming. So that's called shot RNG, and enemies have that too. So basically, not all of your shots are guaranteed to hit, and that becomes really difficult when we get to levels where we have to kill enemies, and you are, like, right up close to them, and you're not hitting any of your shots. So, again, I'll talk about that later when we get to a specific level that shot RNG is a common enemy in. But just keep in mind that I'm always dealing with RNG, even if it seems like I'm not. Also, this is a very cycle-heavy level. This is World 2. Each world gets progressively more hard and more difficult with the level layouts and stuff like that. So this is Spinner Splatfest, a nice little aesthetic, an aesthetically pleasing level. But it has a really bad cycle, and this is the cycle I'm talking about. This cycle right here, the middle cycle, we want to hit the cycle that I just hit, but again, those cycles are moving as soon as you enter the level, and if you mess up any of your movement, you're not going to hit that cycle. But thankfully I did, so it's all good. I'm also going to go for a super tight jump at the end here, and it's not worth going for it. It saves like 3 seconds, not even. So here it is. I always go for it, because why the heck not? There we go, that jump. Basically, that may seem easy, but you have this, it's like a very small platform, and it's easy to fall off. So, I'll take that. That was okay. Alright, so I didn't mention this as well, but in between levels, you're seeing me do some overworld movement. Basically, in order to unlock or to play through a level, we have to unlock it first by opening these kettles. We use Seekers to open them quickly, because they explode on impact, and then it just takes 2 extra shots from there. But you may have just noticed that we don't have to play the levels in the order that we unlock them. So, just like right now, we're actually we unlocked a level back there, but we're going to save it for later until we have our last type of bombs, which is burst bombs. just because it's much faster to use them for that, and we don't have 100 orbs yet. So I'm going to wait for that. And we're going to save level 5 for last of World 2. This is a really cool level. I'm actually very... This is Gusher Gauntlets. The reason why I'm known for this level, I was in Glad Jonas's soft locks in speedrunning. I soft locked in this level, and I'm the only person to have a soft lock in Splatoon happen to him. Basically what happens is if you... It was right here, actually. I got killed on the same frame that I killed an enemy, and what happens if you do that in Splatoon is those enemies will not spawn anymore. And so that happened to me, and it was very tragic, and it turned into a meme. Alright, but yeah, like I said, most of the levels in Splatoon can be beaten in about a minute to 3 minutes, depending on how long they are. Thankfully, World 2 has a lot of the shorter levels. Sadly, World 4 has most of the really long levels, but thankfully you don't have to worry about that, and I'll talk more about that when we get to World 4. But let me just say, World 4 is the shortest world for a specific reason. Alright, so this level right here, I'm not going to talk about what's happening in this level until I beat it. I'm just going to let you guys watch it and enjoy the glitch that's going to happen. If you've never seen a Splatoon speedrun, this is going to look really weird. Like, if you've only played this game casually, you're probably not going to understand what's going to happen here. Just pay really close attention to where I am compared to the Zapfish and see how I collect it. Yeah, so basically what just happened there was it appeared that I got the Zapfish without even touching it. And you'd be right if you said that. So that's one of the only, like, things I would really consider a glitch in this game. What that is called, that's called Octoskip. And what that does is, Inklings and Octolings are written in the game's coding. They have the same value, apparently, in their character code. So whenever an Octoling touches something like a Zapfish that's broken open only, it acts as though we touched it. So because I broke open that Zapfish really early, while that Octoling was flying towards us to attack us, and he flew through the Zapfish, the game thought that we collected it. And that's the only area where that actually works, and it's really cool. I absolutely love that trick, because a lot of people get freaked out whenever I do that on stream, so... But yeah, that's called Octoskip. If you want a really easy trick, it's not hard. Just break it open with the Inkzooka and show that to your friends. And freak them out. So, now we get to the levels. That level we did the Octoskip in, was actually on a level from the multiplayer, and this is also the level from the multiplayer, where both these levels, the Octostriker and the Octoling Invasion levels, they take place on in stages from either the tutorial, which we just played, or from the online multiplayer itself, different maps from there. And again, this is a very online-focused game, but the game doesn't mind paying homage to its online, even in its single-player. Alright, so now we're going to unlock the last type of bombs. Now we have all three, Burst Bombs, Seek, and Splat Bombs. We're just going to unlock them here because it's faster too while we wait to get into the kettle. Alright. Okay, that's not good. Okay, that's really bad. Good start. Nice death. Alright. Alright, so yeah, this is a... So, in this level, we're going to be introduced to fans, and fans are really annoying. Thankfully, this is the only time we have to deal with the fans. But, yeah, they're not fun to deal with. So basically, you just have to shoot them up, or shoot them for them to raise or lower, depending on where they're going. And later on, they're going to be really annoying, but for now, they're okay, because they're helping us. But later, they're going to try to ruin us. And that's where shot RNG is going to come in again, so you'll see what I mean later. Alright. So again, just platforming through this level, making sure we don't take too long on one platform. Right here, you actually have to kill these guys to progress, so make sure you do. Alright, and this is what I mean by shot RNG. So, the magic number here is 3. I want to hit these fans only 3 times with my gun. with my shots, because if I do, they'll be just low enough for me to jump onto them, but not too low like that they're going to take forever to raise back up. So that was a bad fan, but the first one was good at least. And that's what I mean by shot RNG. It can sometimes mess you up. And burst bombs are really good in this game. They're typically the ones that I use most often to break open zap dishes, because they only take up 50% of your ink capacity when you use them. So if I miss, I can just shoot another one. And I can also they're easier to aim, in my opinion. So what you just saw me do there, whenever you are heading to a kettle that you've already unlocked, what you can do is you can just launch to it, super launch to it, as the game likes to call it, where I just tap it on the gamepad. So that's why we did that with this level here, because again, it's much easier, as you can tell, with burst bombs, because they explode these sponges on one hit, or in one hit. But yeah, so that's why we unlocked it earlier and didn't enter it, because we can just launch back to it later. And you're going to see that much later. We do that to manipulate which levels we do in which order in later worlds. Alright, right here I'm going to have these guys spawn, they're going to chase me, and then have them fall off the edge. Again, just manipulating the AI. The AI in this game is actually really good, but sometimes it's really stupid. Okay, that was really dumb. So when you jump in this game, if you hold the jump button, sometimes you can jump higher than you normally would, and I guess I didn't hold the jump button, so that was my fault. That was really dumb. Okay, that was really bad. I'm having a really bad sponge level. Again, if I have to shoot sponges, that's not good, because one bomb will just blow them up. There is another cannonless strat I can do here, but I'm bad at it, so I'm not going to. It's not very marathon safe. There we go. Nice. I like how I just look over and everyone's saying tacos. I mean, that's a mood. I'm in the taco mood too, so, you know, it's all cool. Alright, so that was World 2, all the levels. Now we're going to head on to the boss. If there's any donations, go ahead and read them out, because the bosses have a unskippable cutscene on each hit, and it's very annoying. If not, then I can just talk about the boss, because he's adorable. So, the boss in World 2 is Octonozzle. Each boss has really cute feet, and they are very, they show them off a lot. And I'm going to point out this guy specifically because look at his little feet! They're so cute! Alright, so this boss is the best boss to show off bomb spamming, because again, this is the first boss where we have all 3 of our bombs. And you can see how we destroyed that, I'm just gonna say belly button, to keep the PG rating. But yeah, you can see how we destroyed that way faster than we normally would. And now he's gonna grow 2. So yeah, he's gonna grow more belly buttons the farther we go in, and we just have to destroy them. But yeah, you can see the bomb spamming and how easy it makes destroying the tentacles, and anything that takes more than just a few shots. Okay, that was really bad bomb spamming. I'm not doing really good on bomb spamming right now. I usually just root my thumb. I don't know what's up with my hand today. Maybe I'm just a little sore, but it doesn't seem like it wants to work. Alright, and yeah, like I said, this is Octonozzle, so he has a lot of nozzles that we have to blow up. Gotta keep it PG for the children. Alright, so now we're going to destroy it from the sides, so we don't get hit here. He's going to charge up his ball blast, as I like to call it, where he shoots out more than one, and thankfully he didn't hit me. I almost jumped into the pool of poison there. Alright, there we go. And that's the second boss fight. Pretty easy. And yeah, usually people like to talk about, like, what the color of ink looks like. In my case, this looks like Cinco de Mayo gone wrong. So yeah, that's World 2. A pretty cool world. It has like the biggest glitch in the game, in my opinion. Again, the rest of the stuff that I'm talking about, I don't really consider as a glitch. Like all the skips and stuff like that are using intended mechanics. But obviously, OctoSkip messes with the game's coding, so that's like the only glitch I would consider in this game. There's one other that could technically classify as a glitch, and that's going to be World 4 skip. And again, we'll talk more about that after World 3, but we're not there yet. So now we're heading into World 3 now. World 3 is where levels start getting really complex and really difficult, and also the level design, the world structure of World 3 onwards gets even more complex, because now we're going to be unlocking levels and going to completely different levels first, just because it's faster to get out of the way ones after we've unlocked a level that we can just launch to after. And you'll see what I mean in a few levels. So we're going to start off on this level. This is a pretty cool one. This one's pretty just chill. It's not really anything special. It's just a bunch of platforming on these ink rails. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this level. Again, shot RNG can make it so that I don't hit these railings, and it can get kind of annoying. For the most part, shot RNG, if you're like really close up to something, you're gonna hit it no matter what. So that guy always appears there, and I don't know why. I'm so used to always hitting him that he just doesn't bother me anymore. These guys are kind of annoying. You do have to kill them to progress. So I just aim in the corner there. That's usually where he is. I'm going to switch to burst bombs here to throw one up here, because we have to go up there. And again, if you can ever minimize the shots you have in this game, that's like the best thing you can optimize in this game to save time. The amount of shots you have to take. 'Cause shooting in this game takes so long without upgrades to your gun, and we never upgrade our gun, so it's always good to take the least amount of shots as possible when you can. Alright, so we're gonna do a nice jump here to grab this special. So you saw that I used a special to do OctoSkip. This is the special that I used, and they come in these little salmon containers. That's called the Inkzuka. That's the only one we're gonna be using for the most part. There is one other one we'll use once. But for the most part, it's just gonna be the Inkzuka, because it one-shot kills a bunch of enemies, and it's very useful. And they give it to us, so of course we're gonna use it. Also, I just saw that someone did the follow command in chats. This is a good time to mention, I do not stream on Twitch. This is a good time to mention that I stream on YouTube at youtube.com/KingjO444. So that's like, if you want to like follow me there, that's where you'll find my streams. Don't follow my Twitch. I only stream on there when I do marathon runs. So, all right. So this is the big boy level. This is what I talked about much earlier in the run. This is the RNG dependent level. So these flutters are completely random of their pattern. They can give me a total of like a bunch of different patterns, and they're all completely random. Specifically at the ending part. This part was a pretty bad beginning. But it's more the end part that I'm worried about. And also, I'm going to do a little trick here. I'm going to do this more. There's 2 flutter levels in this run. And this is the first one, the easiest one. That jump right there that I did to jump between me or between him and the corner, that's like a 1 pixel wide gap that you can squeeze through. So it's really difficult. You'll probably die on that a few times if you're trying to run this game. But it's really cool to do that, and it's very death-defying. Alright, we have to go get a key in order to progress. Oh, hello, you came out of nowhere. Alright, this jump is a little scary because you can get caught on the railing there, and it's really tough to realize if you did or not. Oh, he died, okay. So this is the RNG part, and I got bad RNG. Alright, let's go. So that was extremely bad RNG. I'm just going to say that now. So I was trying to find this guy, and usually, like, he gave me good RNG. The guy that I had to get gave me good RNG. It's the flutters that gave me bad RNG, sadly. Because they all appeared in front of me, and what good RNG looks like is when they aren't in front of you when you land, and you just have a straight shot down the middle, but I didn't have that, sadly. So that's probably the worst RNG I could have got, but there you go. Alright. You know what? That was still fine. Overall. Alright, and now this jump right here to the next level is kind of difficult. You may think this looks easy. It's not. That jump is really tight. Alright. And we get to the Octoling level. So now we have a very difficult level. This is where shot RNG for enemies becomes really apparent. Also, now that we've done one of each of these level types, this and the Octostriker level from World 2, we can just skip the cutscenes now, thankfully. We don't have to watch them each time. Unlike, you know, cough cough boss fights. But yeah, so shot RNG is stupid, and... Oh, that's why. Okay, I just got one shot. So there's this thing in this game that I like to call the one-shot kill. Each enemy in this game has a splatter shot, which is the gun that I use. And just like me, they have shot RNG. It's completely random if they will hit their mark perfectly each time or not. And sadly, right now they are shooting their mark perfectly each time, which means that I'm getting one-shot killed, and that's not what I want. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab this safety checkpoint. I don't want to have to do this, but I just died twice because of shot RNG. And this is, again, this is not up to me. This is completely random whether or not they one-shot kill me. So I have to take it safe. There we go. Okay, there we go. I got the last try there. And then I missed the shot. Alright, that was a horrible level. Again, Octoling Assault is probably the worst level for me in World 3 because of shot RNG. So they one-shot killed me 3 times, and that's really rare for that to happen. So I hate that. Alright, so right here, I'm going to use my different types of bombs to open up this level, and I'm not going to go to it, I'm actually going to go down here. Oh, actually, I have to go back. Shoot. Because I missed the jump. Because I'm going to enter this level down here. Because it's so out of the way that this is the only time that I can get it. And then jump back to that other level afterwards. And it makes sense, because we're doing the 2 online multiplayer map, one after another. It's not always going to be like this, but it feels like it is. Also, I mentioned at the beginning how the starting a run in Splatoon is super slow-paced. Most of that, I actually talked about this during setup to the staff, but most of that comes to the fact that in order to reset your file and start a new story mode, you can't just delete it in the game. You actually have to delete your entire file's progress in Splatoon in general, or create an entire new Wii U profile, just to start a new run, and you have to do that from system settings. So when you reset the game, you have to go to the Wii U menu, go through its really slow operating system, delete your file, and all that, and it's really dumb. Alright, that was a really dumb level because I missed the bomb throw at the end, but hey, whatever, it's fine. I kind of figured this wasn't going to be a perfect run. Alright, so now we're going to hop back to that level that we unlocked. It's really cool that you can throw your bomb to the kettle and unlock it, and then come back for it later. I love that they did that in Splatoon 2 as well. We also do that in Splatoon 2. But it's really cool in Splatoon 1, when this game first came out. It's like, oh, you can just unlock levels, and if you don't want to deal with that one, you can come back to it later, which is nice. But sadly, you have to beat every level in a world before you can leave. That is, except for one specific world that I keep alluding to, which will be next. Alright, so this level is very cycle-based, as you can tell by the moving platforms. It's actually called shifting platforms, so, you know, it makes sense. And I'm going to try to make this cycle right here. So the cycle I want to hit is moving cycle right here. Okay, there we go. That's the cycle I wanted to hit. So I got fastest cycle. That's good. Basically, if you catch the cycle when it's moving, you're on the perfect cycle. Alright. Now let's just hope I finish off the cycle well. And again, all of this is global cycles. Every single thing that's moving in this game moves as soon as you enter the stage, unless it's Octolings or enemies. They move when you're near them or on the same planet. Alright, there you go. And this level's done. I just wanted to focus on that one because this one's a little bit difficult. Alright. So, we're about to get to this is now going to be the last level of World 3. World 3 is a really cool level. It has really well-designed levels, and also has some really cool skips in it, too. Specifically, you'll see it right here in this upcoming level. This is the last level of World 3 before the boss fight. And this level is awesome. This is such a really cool idea for a level that Nintendo does, or that Nintendo did. And they never play with this mechanic again, because Splatoon is very unique in the fact that, oh, come on. First off, I gotta kill these guys. Hold up. Hey, shot RNG. Shot RNG, thank you. Splatoon is very unique in the fact that each level has almost its own unique gimmick. Yeah, some levels come back, or some level gimmicks come back later, but for the most part, each level in this game is unique in its own right. And then, one thing will be shown off and it won't ever come back again. Or at least it'll come back, but in 2 worlds. So, because that is the case, this invisible platform thing, you can only see the platforms when you ink them. They're always there. So I can just make, blind leaps of faith. And that's going to come up into place when I get to the last area, specifically. But it's really cool, and this is the only level in this game that does this. And I wish there was more of these levels, but hey, you know what? One is enough. It's such a cool, unique idea, and it's a really good one-off level. Also, these squeegees, I should have mentioned them when I was doing Canonless, but they try to clean out the mess that you make, and it's hard for climbing walls. Obviously, that you saw that during Canonless because they messed up my Canonless setup. Alright, so this part right here is what I call fight skip. So, right here, you're supposed to kill these guys, and as soon as you kill one of them, the next one will, or the next set of them will appear, and they're supposed to show you where the platforms are. But I can skip all of that and just completely walk past them and get to the end. Oh, whoops. And yeah, there we go. So that's fight skip. So you can just skip all the fighting in that level and just go to the very end. And it's really cheap and really awesome. Again, Splatoon's very open. You don't have to defeat every enemy. It's also impossible to beat this game pacifist, but it's still cool that they give you this much choice. Alright, so next up is our next boss fight, and he's the worst boss fight. Because this boss fight, actually, he's okay. This is Octowhirl. This is the boss that bomb spamming was actually found to be a thing. Cool, but it doesn't mean that he's a good boss fight. I hate this boss. Other than, thankfully, we skipped my least favorite boss fight in this game, which is Octomon World 4, but we still have to do Octowhirl, and we have to ink a path for him to get stuck in, and then we have to bomb spam him like usual. So, now that I talked about Octowhirl, I'm going to talk a little bit about World 4, because we're not going to see it in this run. Like I said, we skip all of World 4 in this run, thankfully, because I don't like World 4, and a lot of people don't like World 4. And I feel like Nintendo knew what they were doing, because they made the only world that's skippable. They put all the most annoying levels in it, both the boss fight and the levels in general in World 4 are terrible. They have 2 auto-scrollers, they have a really annoying Octoling level, they have a really bad Bluefin Depot, or sorry, they have a really bad Ink Striker level, and they have 2 auto-scrollers and the worst boss fight. So, all that combined makes World 4 like a force to be reckoned with, and if you run all scrolls, which is our 100% category, you will have to do World 4, same with New Game Plus. But because I'm running any percent, I can just do a very precise skip and skip it all, and it's much better than doing World 4. Even though the skip is really hard, it's still better than having to tough it through World 4. So I'll kind of explain how this skip works right now, because it's going to be hard to explain while I do it. I'm going to have to focus. There's a audio cue I have to go for, specifically when I'm in the ink. But I will mention how it works now. So you've seen before, when I go from world to world, basically how I travel is through these ink lines. And there's like that little electrical fence around those ink lines that'll break open when you defeat the boss. However, World 4 is the most unique level, or world, because it's the only level that does not have that that incline to go to the next world. It's just a few platforms that we have to jump across. And so after a lot of messing around with the mechanics, we actually found out that you can, with a very precise setup, you can jump on the very edge of an inked platform, or that of the electrical platform when it's inked, and swim across it, but it's 3 pixels wide and it's very small. So like you have to jump on it and then do a very precise jump off without getting knocked off it and dying. You'll see what I mean. I tried to explain it the best I could. Let's see if I get it first try. I'll be very proud if I do. And it's coming up here. Again, this will skip an entire world, which means this skips 6 levels and a boss fight, and all of them are super long and tedious. So again, I feel like Nintendo knew what they were doing, because, again, this is the only world this works in. But it's still so cool that we can do this. And it's really difficult, but I've put a lot of practice into it, and recently I've been getting it first try. So that means I'm not going to get it first try, you know how it works. But we're going to hope. All we can do is hope. And this is, in my opinion, probably the most infinite skip in Splatoon history. For Splatoon in general. Alright, so we're gonna ink it up here. Hopefully. There we go. 1 burst bomb will do. Alright, now I'm gonna do the skip and enjoy. Oh, I didn't ink the platform. That was my fault. I'm not gonna count that as a try. I had to ink the corner here, because yes, that is a viable surface. Or not. Excuse me? Okay, bad start, bad start. First actual try. Alright. This is what I expected. Again, this may take me a few tries. Thankfully, we have a pretty good estimate, so... Alright. Okay, so we got the hard part, which was getting onto the platform. I had to swim very straight there, which I didn't do. I tried to rush it, which was my fault. So that was second try. Let's see if I get it. Third try. Third try's the charm. There we go. Oh, that's not good. Alright, third try's the charm. There we go. Like, third actual try. I guess you can count that 5th try because... twice. But I wasn't even, like, jumping at all. So, yeah, that's in a very thin... line that you have to swim through. If you want to know the actual measurements, it is exactly 3 pixels wide, and when you're a squid, swim at 2 pixels, I think. Oh my god. Please don't spawn me back there. Okay. Okay, we're doing it again! We're doing it one more time! Oh, are you kidding me? I can't believe that. I can't believe that just... I fell off, and I had to respawn, and I'm stupid. Hi, how's it going? I'm bad at video games. Oh my god. Y'all ready to be back here for, like, you know, 5 more minutes? It's gonna happen. Now that I got it, like, what, 5th try? I'm gonna be back here for, like, 7 more hours. There we go. Swimming straight is the hardest part, without bonking. Like that! I hate that! Oh my god! Okay, just gotta breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and don't breathe out. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now, Joey, do me a favor. That's me, by the way. Hi, I'm Joey. Let's do something cool and not die and be stupid. I just wanted to, you know what? It's for charity. I just wanted to show you guys that we can do it, right? I wanted to do it twice. Once is not enough. There we go. And we unlock this level, launch to it. I'm done with this. God dang, dude. We just lost like 2 minutes there. Let's go. So yeah, that's World 4 skip twice, because once was not enough, obviously. Whatever. You guys got to see it twice. You know what? It's an honor to get to do it twice for you. There you go. So yeah, that was World 4 skip, and like I said, that thin line that I swam on, that is 3 pixels wide, and it's very hard to get on, especially when you're first, you know, trying it. Alright. So, yeah, this is the first level of World 4, and what that did, by the way, even though I took like 2 minutes extra than I usually do for that, again, it's marathon luck, that's what I expected, but even though that took like 2 or 3 minutes, keep in mind that that still saves like 20 minutes over actually doing World 4. So don't worry about that. It's all cool. Alright, now these guys are stupid, and I have to jump past them. They're really hard to jump past as well, to avoid. Alright. This is also a cycle level, like a very heavy cycle level, and you can tell from this. There we go, nice. Okay, I barely made that moving cycle. That cycle sucks. This cycle I was trying to hit, but that's called perfect cycle, or as most people like to call it in the Splatoon community, zero cycle. And I didn't hit it. You have to have, like, flawless movement through this level. And after doing World 4 skip, you're kind of just frazzled. So, whether you did it good or bad. So, obviously I wasn't going to do very good. I did hit this cycle, though, at least, which is nice. Never mind, I didn't. Why did I have to say something, dude? Every time I say something, you know what the issue with World 4 skip was? I said that I've gotten it first try in practice each time. That was the problem. This time, I said that this level is not that bad, and then I said that I got the cycle, and then I messed it up. I just gotta stop speaking. That's the goal here. No, I'm kidding. Alright, but the rest of World 5 is definitely easier than World 4 skip, thankfully. That's like, in my opinion, that was like the last hard part of the run is World 4 skip, the last barricade to getting a good run going. Now we just have to get through the levels. Okay, that was really bad. I hit that fan way too many times. So now we gotta wait. Just kidding. Okay. So, the World 5 has some really interesting routing with its level unlocks and stuff like that. That was stupid. Nice. But, it's really cool, because again, we unlocked that level. We're not gonna play it yet. We're gonna play this one first. Alright. Alright, this has a really hard skip on it, specifically because it's actually much easier to do the skip when you know, upgrade your gun. But because we don't upgrade our gun at all during this, it's going to be really hard, and I'm probably if I miss it. Let's see if I get it. Oh, let's go. That's a really hard skip. That may not look hard, but climbing up those pipes is actually really difficult. It's like, they're really finicky with their positioning for those pipes, so getting up them is something special. There we go. That was a perfect level. Very nice. You know what, we might still be on sub 105 pace, even with that horrible World 4 skip. So you know what, I'll take it. Someone asked what my PB was. My PB in this game is 1 hour, 1 minute, and 28 second time. I got that on the grind for practicing for this marathon. Before, it was like a 104. But I got accepted into this marathon, I was like, oh my god, I have to be good. So I almost have a sub 1 in any percent. But keep in mind, I run all categories. So, I'm not just focusing on any percent. Okay, please. Alright, this is the last Octa-Striker level. Thankfully, these Octa-Snipers don't have the best aim, and they're really easy to depict what they're doing. Sadly, in World 4, we do have to skip, like, the coolest movement level, which is the Octa-Sniper Ramparts level. But it's okay, because it makes up for not having to do, like, a bunch of bad levels with it. There we go. Very nice. At least we finished that level. And yeah, again, if you were doing all scrolls, maybe I can get all scrolls into a different midwinter marathon, or yeah, a different midwinter marathon, but all scrolls actually does World 4, and you actually get to see all the levels, so it's basically the 100%. Alright, this right here, this is probably the hardest bomb throw that I have to do. Yeah, so I'm trying to throw my bombs down there. That should hit. Okay, good. So I unlocked that level way over in the distance, and we're not going to play it until last. So that's like that's probably the hardest unlock in this entire game, and it's followed by Seekers Part 2. So you know how I said Seekers Part 1 went bad? Thankfully, Seekers usually go either really good or really bad. So I'm just going to hope that since the first one went bad, this one will go good. That's what I'm expecting. Then again, you should never expect that, but... okay, well, you know how I said we should never expect that? Yeah, that's not what happened. Alright, but thankfully I can do that 1 pixel jump each time and be fine. So we lost like 30 seconds from that RNG, but it's still cool. Also, they're right by here. Very nice, actually. That's good, so I don't have to jump. I'll take that. It's like they're trying to make amends with me. Alright. And this right here is the part that really matters. This is the RNG parts to rule them all. We have to go to this key and then get back. They can either be nice or they can be mean. Thankfully, they were nice. Let's hope they're nice on the way back. And they were nice on the way back. That's cool. Alright, at least the second half was good. But this part also is RNG. It doesn't end there. What else is RNG is this Cyper guy right here. He has a key that we need to grab. And thankfully, he was semi on the way to the ending. So he can either be on the way or nowhere near where the end goal is. Thankfully, he was close enough. So that wasn't horrible. It was definitely better than the first level, than the first Flutter level. So I'll take that RNG for sure. But there we go. Alright, so next up we have our second last level, and you're probably looking at the timer right now being like, well, second last level before the final boss. He's doing really good. The final boss takes about 10 minutes. So we're not doing so hot, but it's okay. Honestly, I think this run is still good, even though World 4 Skip was like the disaster of a lifetime. That's what I kind of expected heading into this, because World 4 Skip is like, I'm not trying to overplay it, but it is, in my opinion, the hardest part of the run, and that's obvious. Alright, there we go. So this is the last sponge level. This is kind of like the fifth level we did in Worlds. Actually, the fifth level we did in general, where we had to wait for burst bombs to be unlocked, and that was stupid. Alright, game. I'll just say yes and go along with it. Alright. So again, they give us the Ink Strike, or the Inkzuka here, so we're just going to use it. There we go. Now, thankfully, this level has some really cool aspects to it, where we get to do some interesting stuff. Specifically later, in, like, the next two platforms. There we go. You know what's sad is, like, again, I mentioned this when I was doing World 4 Skip, but right before this run, I actually practiced World 4 Skip, and I got a first try 3 times in a row. So, yeah. Marathon luck, that's how it is. Alright, so these guys can sometimes throw bombs on there. Oh my god. That's completely RNG, by the way. Well, again, you kind of manipulate where you are, they'll throw the bombs towards you, but I, didn't think he would throw the bomb on the thing again. Thank you, God. At least I survived it. RNG's kicking my butt today, guys. Hopefully. I mean, what do you expect? It's a marathon. Alright, so this part right here, we have to deal with 2 Inklings. And why did he spawn over there? Why did he spawn over there? Excuse me? So you can manipulate where he spawns by moving to the left or right. I moved to the right, so he should spawn on the left, but he... I hate this game sometimes. Look, don't get me wrong, this is, like, in my opinion, one of my favorite speed games. That doesn't mean it's a good one. Whoa! Come on, just die already. What a horrible amount of AI RNG and RNG in general in this run. This is not going good. Alright, so... the good news is I have a really high estimate because, again, when I submitted this game to this marathon, I had, like, a 3-minute worst PB. But this is not a good run. But hey, if that shows anything, it shows that if you guys want to be better than this run, you can pick up this game and it's really easy to run, so there you go. The more you know. Alright, so this is our last actual level. This is called Splat Switch, and of course it's this level because this level is really interesting. We leave sort of kind of the best for last. I really like the way this level is laid out, but it also has a lot of enemy RNG that we have to deal with, and you know how I like that. Oh, so that's stupid. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Alright. Can you kill him, please? Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to focus. But yeah, so basically there are these switches here. I'm just not good at talk about that. I'm just gonna let that happen and move on. There's these splat switches that will move these platforms here, and we can move one splat bomb, which you're seeing me do here. So just shooting one bomb is way easier than just shooting them completely with like a couple shots to ink up the area. Also, because I died there with the special in my inventory, I don't have the Inkzuka special anymore, which is really dumb, and I hate that the fact that it does that about this game. Alright, so these guys are both aiming for me, and I'm gonna do something scary. I'm gonna try hitting them while they're aiming for me. It's really hard to do, and I have to jump on the very edge. There we go. That's difficult, but it saves like a few seconds than just going over to them and hitting them where they're actually at. So, alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and activate both of those. There we go. Okay, nice. Ink up this wall so we can climb on up, destroy these octoballs, which have the best names in existence for an enemy. And again, it's all about the splat switches, so just keep activating them and moving where they go. Alright, so this is the only time that we use a different sub-weapon or special that isn't the Inkzuka, and it's right here where we have to grab this key. Because you can just be invincible there. There we go. And you know what? That was a pretty good level, all things considered. What could have been better, could have been worse. And now we're going to move on to the final boss fight. Now, the final boss fight is really awesome. It has a lot of unique personality to him. But like I said, it's 10 minutes long. So get ready. Get your PJ Salts ready in chat in case this run dies in the final boss. Because I will be very salty. More saltier than me missing World 4 skip and then dying afterwards. Who would have thought I could be more salty than what happened in this run, but whatever. I'm not salty, you're salty. All things considered, all jokes aside, I'm not being salty, I'm making a joke. I'm actually really proud of how this run has gone. It's pretty good so far, considered what happened. And to run a game as popular as Splatoon in a marathon of this caliber, it's really cool. And it's like, it's an honor. Because again, I'm by no means one of the better players of this game, but it's cool to get to show this game off to so many people. And I suggest if you want to run Splatoon 1, 2, or Octo expansion, please check out the Discord. We have a Splatoon Discord for every single Splatoon game, and we're very open in the community. If you ever want to ask any of us questions, you can directly contact me for questions if you want to get into running these games, and I will happily help you out. I just want to see more people run this game. That's what we all want. Alright, so this is DJ Octavio. He's our big bad in this game, and he is literally just a DJ. So if you've ever been to a Much Music dance, you've basically fought this guy before. I'm kidding. But we're going to be using bomb spamming a lot here, as you can see. Mainly because he has these fists that he's going to shoot at us, and then we have to play tennis with him, just like a certain Zelda character, Ganondorf. So, yeah, we're going to be doing that. He needs to be pushed back far enough in order for him to shoot his tennis balls, aka his weird jalapenos that he shoots at us. So, yeah. So yeah, these are the things he's going to shoot at us, and he's going to start adding more things each time, or each phase. There's like 5 phases to this boss fight, so strap in for a ride. And they're not going to all be this short. And again, bomb spamming is very helpful there. I'm not doing the best at bomb spamming today. I don't know what's up with my fingers, but it's just not working. It makes you want to play. I hope this makes you want to play Splatoon. Again, the Wii U is a very forgotten console, but this is by far one of the better games on the Wii U, and it's still one of my favorites to speedrun, even though it's pretty old. Alright. Alright, nice. So, yeah, missing those fists is really hard there. Now he's going to shoot these killer whales at us. We have to dodge them. So I'm just going to walk to the side. It's not that hard to dodge so far. He's not shooting too much at us, thankfully. Alright, so we probably need to do one more set of fists. Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, yeah, because if you can shoot him, basically he's not far back enough. That's how you know. And I'll show you what I mean when he's far back enough. I almost got fisted. There we go, thank you. But yeah, you can see that I'm not able to shoot him, so that means that he's far back enough now. Alright. Oh, hello! Alright, so we're almost done with the second phase. Peep this! Also, the game, I haven't mentioned this before during the run, but if you were watching this run and you weren't reading a bunch of the dialogue they say mid-levels, the writing in this game is absolutely hilarious. It's filled with puns, so if you ever have the chance and you're playing this game yourself, read the dialogue. It's really good. But for the most part, I'm skipping through it, so. Alright. Look, I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that about the fifth. I'm just not gonna acknowledge. I've learned in the past. I've learned my ways have not always been the smartest wording decisions I've made. Oh god. Oh, what did I do? Okay, so now I can talk about stuff. Now he's adding in a new layer of difficulty. He's gonna be shooting out these how can I make this not sound bad? Splatoon is filled with innuendos, if you haven't noticed. But he's gonna shoot these orbs that will shoot out these enemies if they hit the ground. So you want to blow them up before they hit the ground, thankfully. Or hopefully. And now he's shooting more of these missiles at us. Alright. Oh god. Alright, we also have this little bubble here that can directly hit something back at him, which we might actually use to our advantage to try to hit him with a one-shot kill. We'll see if I can get that. It saves like 2 seconds. And 2 seconds in a 10-minute boss fight, totally worth it. Let's go. Alright, so I should be able to hit it here. There we go, yes. So that's the one-shot kill where I just hit the balloon and it fires back at him. It's actually called a blowfish, but there we go, nice. Alright, that's the third phase. Orb. Okay, maybe I made a bunch of mistakes. Because I can't say orb, or else chat's gonna go insane. Alright. And I can't say anything else because then everybody else will go insane. You know, like, I'm in a tough spot here, guys. I'm glad that you guys are making this boss fight entertaining for me because literally there's nothing else for me to do but just sit here and do the same stuff I do at the end of all my Splatoon runs. Every Splatoon run ends with the same generic boss fights. Yeah, it's like New Game Plus, you have upgrades, it's easier and stuff like that, but all scrolls in any percent literally end the same way. What else can I talk about? I can plug my channel again. I can... You guys should subscribe to my YouTube channel. You should donate to my Pinterest account, which does not exist. Please don't try to donate to Pinterest. I don't think that works. What just happened?
Donate to charity instead.
That also works. That scared me so much because I didn't know you were in here. So what just happened? I got knocked back by the enemy there. And that has a very small chance of happening. I walked forward and I fell off. So, yay, more time for this boss to make me look like a... I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. I just did it again. I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't want to game over here. If I game over here, we're not talking about it, okay? I've already made a joke of myself in this run, in this race with dying after World 4 skip. I think I need to calm down a little bit, is what I need to do. I need to, like, take a deep breathe in. And that's it. Yeah, just take one deep breathe in. That's all I need to finish this run. I can do it on one breath, guys. That's how short it's going to be. I shouldn't say this, because now I'm going to game over, now that I said that. Again, that knockback is really hard to tell if it's going to happen or not, and it did, so that sucks. Okay, I don't want to walk close to you again. I don't want to make the same mistake that I just made. Alright, there we go. There we go. He should be... Oh, he's not far back enough. RIP. Do it, talk about it? No, I'm not going to talk about it. Chat. You're supposed to be on my side here. If I say I don't want to talk about it, you're supposed to agree. This is not what I signed up for. Y'all are supposed to be supportive. I'm kidding. You guys are great. I'm just not having the hottest run. At least I'll be underestimate. Hopefully. I shouldn't say that. You know, that's like the last thing I should say. Alright, but thankfully, it's time to drop the sea base. So, yeah. Alright, so this boss also has RNG to it. When he shoots back this missile at us, it can go left, right, or center, and it's completely random. So you have to kind of have good reflexes there. Alright, and now, epic music time. Get up off your feet, guys, if you're on your feet. I don't know, get on a chair. But I want everybody to get dancing, because this music is the best part of this run. So, and I can say that, because I'm the one doing this run. If I say it's the best part of this run, oh, you better believe it. This is your captain speaking. We're failing 90% of the tricks and skips in this run. Please dance to save my sanity. So yeah, this is the final stretch. Time will be like a minute or two. It's on the final hit when so basically Octavio is going to come out of his ship. When we hit him back into his ship, when he hits the glass, and you'll hear a glass smack, that's when time is. Just warning. You know what, I could complain about this run, but you know what matters most is that I had fun, and I hope you guys had fun too. And again, this game is great. I love this game casually and as a speedrun, so I just hope more people look at this and see how open it is for optimization and improvements, and hopefully you guys will give it a shot if you own this game. And even if you don't own this game, a Wii U is really cheap to come by. Like, you can buy a Wii U in Splatoon for like 80 bucks. So people are throwing those things in the trash. Just go to your local diner and look in the garbage can. You'll probably find a Wii U. I'm just saying, okay? Like, no, but all jokes considered, I keep my Wii U for one reason, and it's to run games like this. So join this Splatoon Discord and give this game a shot. I've shown you many times that you don't have to be good at this game to play it. Alright, so final hit time. Let's see if we can finish this off with a bang without messing up. The final hit is the hardest part of the final boss, so let's hope. There you go, that's the first part. And there we go. So we didn't mess up on the final hit. And get ready on time. Time. It's a 106.51. You know what? I could say that was a bad run. But you know what? I'm proud of that. I'm okay with that. That was still a fun run. And it was underestimate. It was 4 minutes underestimate. I can't complain. So there we go. And you know, since I went a little bit underestimate, I just want to show at least the ending scene. And you know what? I'll do voice acting. Why not? You guys can hear my wonderful voice acting for these girls. Okay, it's late. I'm not gonna do it. Never. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't want to hear it. But yeah, so the Zapfish has returned, and that was Splatoon 90%. Thank you, Midwest Speed Fest, for having me, or MidFall SpeedBall, excuse me. Thank you so much for having me, and again, this just shows how far this game has come. It's come from us doing all the levels in each world, to skipping a world entirely, to whatever this run was. There's this game has gone a long way in the speedrun community, and it is known as probably one of the better third-person shooter speedruns out there. So if you want to give Splatoon a shot, hit me up on Discord. I can teach you all the tricks. It's really not that hard to learn most of them. World Foreskip is probably going to be the only blockade for a lot of people. And yeah, it was a fun run. So hopefully we can see an all scrolls run in the future. But I do this all the time to end off my runs. I'm just going to do this. Here's the eye, here's the eye, here's the smiley face. There we go. Alright, so thank you all for watching, and enjoy the next run, guys. Peace out. Bye.